I'd like to set a land use change for Robert Maynard on Tuesday, November 17th at 9:15.
Ready?
So moved.
Someone make a motion on that?
So moved.
Tracy did.
Okay, I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Alright.
Motion carries. Go ahead.
I'd like to set a land use hearing for R.J. Myers for Tuesday, November 17th at 9:30.
So moved.
And seconded.
All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion carries.
Thank you.
Hey, Barb.
See ya.
To the general assistance.
Yep. Pass that down to Gary too.
I guess we could do, approve the courthouse lawn for Santa and his sleigh on November 19th.
Yep. So instead of coming inside the courthouse, they have that holiday parade usually on that Thursday night. And they used to come inside the courthouse, but with COVID, they're gonna do something different. They're gonna try to keep it outside, park the sled and do some kind of little fun thing for the kids. So I just wanted formal action if you approve that again.
So moved for here. Go ahead.
And I second that.
Okay, thank you. I'll let him know.
All right.
I'll make sure I'm on his good list.
Quarterly report.
I've seen your elf costume.
Mine.
I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, good.
I make a motion to approve the general assistant quarterly report.
Rick?
You can't
Well, I
approve.
haven't seen it, I'm just thinking, so
Yeah.
I have no clue what it is.
Okay.
Gary wants to be seconded.
I'll second it. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Alright,
Aye. Okay.
An initial on the back of that, please.
is there any way, if I know, for example, I'm gone, if one of us is gone, that could be emailed out ahead of time?
Yeah, I sent you all the Frontier stuff, but that one Sarah just brought in a hard copy, but I can forward it to you.
Yeah, no, I got the Frontier.
Okay. Yep. I usually try to do that if I get it in time.
Sure.
Thank you.
So who we all have here?
Dennis Hearn.
Okay.
I'm Rachel Daly.
Okay.
Ken Berker.
All right.
Larry Andreessen.
Well, thank you all for coming. We've got a schedule here in Dennis. Here is 9:15, so. Legally, we can't go ahead of time.
Gotcha.
First time I've ever been to a supervisor's meeting.
Well, it's, I guess it's important if there's other people that.
Can. Thank you, Mark.
Good.
Dennis?
Good morning. I'm Mark. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
A lot of the houses going up in that county. Just good. There'll be more now. A lot of houses getting taken down or have been house burnt, yes, 2 days ago. Sunday night, I guess it was.
With the storm damage?
So Gary, ones that you guys know about, make sure they contact us either by phone, email, or on the website, or else you guys let us know too. I mean, I flagged when I was out there with stuff. Actually, I guess I can bring that map in and show you guys. But we don't always know how bad it is inside from the outside. So, and we will be going out again and again this year too. I'll be right back.
Yeah, see Scott's house in 11, or in 09, when it had the ripple, or 11 I guess it was. It twisted it so bad. It looked okay from the outside, and it was all off the off tilt. He had to go back and do a lot of correcting on it. So,
Yeah, this house was 100 years old,
it's
120 years old. Basement was full of debris. So they let her,
It's unbelievable, and how those houses and barns same way stood thousands of storms, and this one took them out.
yeah, we had a barn that had a wooden carrier in it.
Yeah, this is not an ideal map because of the clutter on it stuff too. But the red is where we had a parcel that at least something removed at this point.
Looks like that'd be about right.
Yeah, like I said, everything is 100% at this point, but
What's the yellow?
yellows are ones that were major damage, that had structure damage to them or something like, maybe a broken, well, it could be a small roof. Or it could be a hole in the roof and things out. We don't know what's in between, There's blue tarps on stuff that we don't know what's underneath it. We don't know how wet they got. We don't know what they're twisting and turning. But,
Yeah,
and then the green ones are ones that would look like it was just fairly superficial as far as light to moderate shingle or siding damage or something like that, that hopefully can be repaired by the first of the year.
One guy had some little like minor roof damage, had water all the way to his basement on a 2-story house.
Yeah, and those are the ones we just don't know. That's why, I mean, there's ones that actually look like they're pretty decent, but they're gonna be torn down. And there's ones that look like they're kind of ripped up and they're gonna be rebuilt. So, it all depends on the kind of damage they had and where they're gonna go to, so.
Yeah, they're even in our area.
Forgot to give you
There's stuff, their grain bins and stuff are gone.
Yeah, and well, grain beds, because of knowledge of grain bed stuff too, depending on what's done with the roof and other things, I'm considering they're gone because they're gonna have to be rebuilt. You can't, typically you don't build grain beds from the top down, you build from the bottom up, so.
I've given him copies of your.
Yeah, like, it's kind of infancy, Haley, but
Then
I think you kind of just get a ballpark idea of where it's at.
I don't think they're farm center
aerial.
areas.
And then these are just photographs of the property.
Okay.
Because I'm sorry.
Well, I'd say yes, but
They don't see any of that. so I
There's
just wanted to be
some
sure
oddly
that they-
different places that didn't have any, even in the middle of, almost in you guys' area, not very many, but there's some that just through, maybe their wind breaks got taken out, but they didn't lose any. Yeah, if you talk about any damage as far as trees and stuff, no, but if you talk about.
His new house got
What
really
was the
damaged.
difference between orange and yellow again?
The red are ones that have something removed or destroyed completely. The yellow are ones that are major. In other words, the old,
That's where he got damaged.
and so the yellow ones didn't have something that was removed on the property. The green ones are ones that are minor, so. And you can't really tell, but just as a ballpark, that's essentially from 61st Street down roughly to the county line. And it gets a lot thinner as you get down to the county line part of it. They said different times between 30 and 80, that's not really right. It's 30 and north a little bit, at least in ours.
How many miles north? Your street?
61st-ish.
I would say Highway 30.
It's a highway, what's Highway 30 for a number?
Highway 30 is 73rd. That's really not true, because Highway 30's here, and you got a lot of red still below Highway 30.
It's
So.
10 miles, so 10, 11, 12 miles.
Yeah, there's-
Well, and this one compared to the one that we had in 2011, this one you had the core that was probably that 8 or 10 that was really hard hit in most places,
Yeah.
but it fanned out. the one that was in 2011, it was a hard line, a half mile over, you didn't have
That's right,
anything.
that's right.
I'm not sure why, but this one was, I don't know. I don't know exactly how to describe it. Basically, it was more of a bell curve as opposed to almost a block going across.
There's electric lines. that go-
Unfortunately, I'm familiar with them now. Never heard of the damn thing until 2011, and now it's like,
I've heard of them, man.
yeah, we don't even flinch if we get a 75-mile-an-hour wind. That's nothing. Don't hit 90 or 100, you don't even get worried anymore.
Yeah, we're good to 80.
Yeah.
Yes, we're ready.
You go around and look at all the windbreaks have been rebuilt in our area.
Mhm.
You know, they're all 9 years old.
Yeah, I bet they are, yeah.
I think we're ready to go here.
Yep.
I've given you an application for a change in land use from Dennis Hearn. I leave the application there and also have photographs of the property that's under review today. Dennis owns 11.85 acres of land at 5530 27th Avenue Drive, Benton. If you look at the application, I've given you a copy of the aerial and also a copy of the plat map there, so you can see generally where we are. We're just south of Prairie Creek Church off of Highway 150. You're okay. Let's see if I can pinpoint it here, approximately right here. Parcel lies in the northeast quarter, the northwest quarter, at section 368610 or Harrison Township. The parcel was purchased back in 2013, I believe it was, roughly.
Yeah, I bought it from my mother. It's been in the family since '76.
Okay, great. As you can see from the photographs, the land under review, it's in grass currently. It has a CSR of 55. I verified by doing a 6-foot soil profile on the property, verified the soil type, and it is actually a fine sandy loam there. It does not carry that high of a CSR. Obviously, they want to build a new home on this particular site. There is a requirement for a new well and a new septic system. Part of my reasoning for looking at the soil profile there was to see if indeed there was going to be any issue with septic system construction, and I see none whatsoever. There's plenty of space based on the soil type and whatnot. A conventional septic system should be in order for that particular property. Obviously, we do have to do percolation testing, and we'll see how that all goes, but it looks to me like it should be favorable for well and septic both. The site has an existing driveway, which you can see, the first photograph that I handed to you. There is an existing driveway there coming off 27th Avenue Drive. Randy Sherwood has looked at that and reviewed it. He reports that that driveway meets all of the policy requirements that Benton County has. This land is surrounded by cropland, and there is a significant livestock operation just to the south here, which is Burker's Dairy. I did show you, or you can see on the aerial photograph there, the footprint of where the dairy is. That's approximately 900 feet to 1,000 feet to the south, to the very north edge of where the dairy operation exists. And that's measuring basically as the crow flies there. As far as the dairy being there, one of the things that we've looked at over the years with our comprehensive plan is that if indeed there is a use that's proposed that's a non-agricultural use, we want to be sure that everybody understands and knows that there are those, I'll call it a competing use, if you will. The comprehensive plan wants to know whether or not we're looking at compatible uses, and so the question arises whether or not it's compatible. I brought it up to Dennis right away. Dennis indicates to me that he has no issue with that whatsoever. When the notices went out, Ken Burker obviously received a copy of that notice. We spoke on the phone. I told him that we had disclosed and talked about it with Dennis and that Dennis has no issues. From the standpoint of the dairy operation, the thing that I would say as land use administrator that I've always attempted to do in the 30 years that we've been doing this is to be sure that everybody understands that the farm use was there first. Farm uses typically have a freedom of nuisance provision, unless there's something that's blatant or, done on purpose, so to speak, as some sort of a problem. The existing farms have freedom of nuisance provision typically with our ordinance. And so if there's an odor or if there's something going on with the operation that tends to aggrieve someone, I'm not going to be running out and trying to do something about that. So it's a matter of can it coexist? And it sounds like from the standpoint of Dennis's perspective that it can. Benton County would be doing nothing about it. Now, the only issue that could arise in the future is if this property sold and say it sells to someone else that isn't sympathetic to the cause, they may have an issue with it. But it is there, it's been disclosed, it's a matter of record, so to speak. I'm not standing here trying to make more out of it than what it is, but I just want to be sure that everybody understands that this use in a home there could be smell, there could be flies, there could be whatever at any given time. The other thing that I did want to mention is that with cropland being around, there is obviously manure being hauled at any given time, and there is, the day that I was out there, and obviously I've seen this before in years past, but there was manure being hauled to the field directly across the road to the west. I know that, that occurs. It occurs on numerous spots in Benton County, obviously. So, having said that, like I said, I just wanted to be sure that it was noted. As far as any other residences nearby, they're all owner occupied as far as I know, is in respect to the Burker family. Other than going south, and there's cattle operation to the south below the dairy operation. So there's cropland and there's livestock in the area. We notified 3 adjacent property owners of the request. We placed legal notices in the newspapers of Benton County as we're required to do. I heard nothing about this other than I did, as I said, I spoke with Ken in advance of this today. Obviously, he came, and there may be something that Ken wants to say about it. That's all I have as far as organized remarks. If there is something you want to say, Ken,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, Ken Burton, you operate the dairy right there. It's called Timbana is the name of it. It's a separate one of our separate corporations. First of all, I don't oppose building a house. That's not my problem at all. When we're feeding in the wintertime, we go by 20 houses with our feed truck. Feed truck and nurse bear go the same path. So, it's nothing new for us. We're in a area that's got a lot of acreages and that, and most of the people we go by don't farm the ground. So, my concerns, and it's a future thing. Different laws change. County supervisors change. The house ownership can change. Our dairy can change. We can be a different size, be a CAFO, ownership, things like that can change. We can change the land use administrator. Mark's not gonna, I told him he had to be there for 30 more years and he didn't think he's gonna make it. And then the public perception, can change toward agriculture. So that's my big concerns. We wanted some safeguards from interference from what we want to do. That's what we want to do is have it forever. And I was told that's a little hard to do. And it's just like, I'm not, you've been around here enough times, you know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
If somebody else from Cedar Rapids buys a house from you, I'd love to have a provision in there that says that they have the same, they cannot interfere with our operation. And Mark and I talked to John Mossman both, and kind of got pretty hard to do. But for the most part, our farm's grandfathered in. Dennis and your family, I know they've been on that land for a long time, we get along good, you know, that's not a problem. And he understands what goes on around that dairy. I don't see it as a problem, my concern is just future. Mark, you said that he's 900 feet from where? Our property line or our dairy?
Just from the north edge of the boundary of the operation, basically. See if I have that picture.
See, if we want to be a CAFO,
Here. Residence being proposed there, and I just went basically to this boundary right
I see
here.
our boundaries here.
Sure, up
Yeah,
here.
but the dairy's down here.
But as far as what's existing with the operation on the land, right there is where I measured.
Do you know how many, to have a CAFO, do you know how many feet we have to be away from a residence?
1,240,
Something like that.
I think.
And the only thing we have to do is have somebody sign off, right?
I believe that's the case.
You know, if they sign off, we're okay.
Who would sign off? You guys or the homeowner? Who signs off on,
Be a DNR form, I imagine.
I wonder how far the dairy south of Blairstown is cross-country to the residents of Blairstown.
Well, they'd be far enough. It's less than a quarter mile.
It'd be close.
See, we have, if we want to put a manure pit in, we got a residence straight south of us, Garth Beatty's folks used to live there. The church is up a half mile away. We got Prairie Creek right behind us. So, you know, we're kind of restricted. We'd have to have some, and we have another house right next to us that'd have to sign off. But I think that's what we're asking is we just, if we want to do something like that, we need to be able to do it.
I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, we've known each other since I was like 8.
Yeah.
So,
It's interesting, the dairy there south of Blairstown had a one-day manure management plan. They didn't have any facilities at all. Now, they have these manure pits and they don't stink.
Ours doesn't stink either.
Every-
No, they don't stink like they used to, do they?
Not like they used to, but I'll say they still smell.
Well, when it rolls over in the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
But that's my only concern, you know, is that kind of stuff. And as far as, you know, we're gonna spread manure like we always have, you know, then, you know, and then we're gonna change or do anything mean to you or anything like that.
I actually think that dairy manure smells a lot better than home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no comparison that way, but, you know, what's bad is we get used to it. Somebody else comes in there and, you know, you're used to it, you smell it all the time. Some stranger comes in there and it stinks. But that's our concerns, you know, just, and the present picture is fine, it's just the future that bothers me a little bit.
Yeah, there really isn't. I don't know if there's anything that we can do about the future.
You sound like Mark. But, you know, it is hard, you know, but grandfather, you know, and there might be a day when we aren't grandfathered in, I don't know. But who knows, but I would sure hope that would always be that way, but.
Yeah.
well, future is future, but my intent is when I'm not there, my family is.
Yeah.
And you know Matt.
Yeah,
that,
oh yeah.
You know, that's the intent, is this has been in the family since 76. My intent's to keep it that way.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
I don't know if that helps, but, you know, that's the plan.
Well, same with our dairy plans doesn't keep on going like that, and economics can change that too, you know, so.
Making a motion to approve.
There's a must be. Rick, are you there? Is Rick there?
Rick, are you on?
I'll
Says
second
he
it.
is.
I'll second it.
Yeah, I'm muted, I'm sorry. I do have a question.
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead.
And my question has to do with water quality. They're gonna be putting in a well, and of course, the Burkers all have wells out in that area, etc. But dairy operation and the manure being hauled onto the crop ground surrounding this area, what's the possibility of nitrates getting into the water system? And would that create an issue down the road?
If the well's constructed properly, there's very little chance. In fact, there's no wells in Benton County that are constructed the way they're supposed to be that have a nitrate problem, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Okay,
I-
very good. That was the question I had. I will second Tracy's motion.
Go ahead, Mark.
Well, I would just say, Rick, that in respect to that's a good question, but I don't have any concerns about that due to the fact that, as Gary just mentioned, with the type of well construction that we have today, and part of my responsibilities to see that it happens is that when new wells are drilled, they're grouted in, and the grout is placed from the surface of the ground to the bottom of the casing, called full-length grouting. And so we're normally, I'd say 99.9% of the time, precluding any surface type contaminants getting into the underground aquifer. So that is not a concern that I would have.
Okay, thank you. Like I said, I second Tracy's motion, so for that approval.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Will you?
Motion carries. Aye, motion carries. Hopefully everything works out for everybody. I mean,
I think it will, just, it's just one of those, you hate them, be nice if you had nobody around you, but it doesn't work that way. And we're an area, we know we got a lot of neighbors, so.
yeah.
As for you, I don't, to my personal opinion, I think it'll always be grandfathered
Next
in.
steps, can
Your
I
farm.
start building?
I have dairies all around.
With this?
Yes, my neighbor's got his cows in fact up here really right now.
Okay.
Anyway, if they ever come down on you guys, my personal opinion, milk would be $20 a gallon, nobody'd be buying it, you'd be out of business,
That's right.
I don't forever seeing that happen.
What, you guys could all get, you guys farm, that helps. You guys could all get replaced by Cocoa City people, and Rick's good, but, things change.
They do change.
They have this year.
Yeah, all of a sudden we're doing a lot of things different, aren't we?
No kidding.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I'll let you have peace and quiet in here.
Next up,
Yeah. We're ready.
On reviewing a crossroad steel large culvert here recently, as well as talking with Iowa Bridge and Culvert with box culverts that they're constructing, but just immediately west of where they're currently finishing up on 19th Avenue, if you come over here to 18th Avenue, a mile and a half south of 70th or a mile and a half north of 30. It works both ways. So there's a big, large metal pipe that's underneath the road. It's got about a 2-foot spot in the bottom. It's getting really badly rusted out. Could be replaced with a cement concrete box culvert. Worked out arrangements with Iowa Bridge and Culvert to do that. They'd like to close the road next Monday and try to build it as fast as they did in one of the materials. So we got a resolution to temporarily close that road for the length of time of construction.
Did you get a bid on it? Did you get a bid on it? Or you're working on it yet?
Utilizing in between the unit prices on the single and the twin. I've got unit prices from them, so.
So move for here.
And I would second that.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Resolution.
Resolution, right?
What do we got here? Oh, Piershank, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Kramer, aye.
Motion carries. Resolution carries.
Yeah. 3 inches of snow down the southern part of the county.
Ben said he was down checking out some hot spots for precincts, and he was sending us pictures of we started here.
I don't know if it'll be completely gone this afternoon at my house or not. I know the little kids in town were having a ball last night. In fact, my neighbor's got what looks like a snowman sitting in his backyard, so.
She knows girls make snow.
More snow in southern part of the town.
I printed it out for him, but did you find out? Okay.
That's all I had for you this morning.
The lights on the road, they're north of town, I've gotten a lot of comments. I think there's some people that maybe have a hard time seeing without the lines, or a lot harder time. So thank you.
You're welcome. Till next week.
I guess, can you hear up?
How are you guys? Good. Well, I'm here on behalf of Frontier today. We've been working with them. They have an expansion project happening at their Norway facility. It's a projected a little over $7.3 million project. The last week, the state just approved their high quality jobs application, which is essentially requires a local match, and since they're rural, it would be in the form of a 427B tax abatement. They are expanding their warehousing facility about 22,000 square feet. They're adding some bottling and filling lines, and they're going to be creating 24 positions. So, and a handful of those positions will be at the wage threshold that's required for the Norway area, which is $27.84. So, essentially, I'm just here for approval of a resolution of support for a tax abatement on a 5-year sliding scale for Frontier for their project, and then a signature on the state application. Questions?
I asked Larry to come.
Yeah.
If he had to explain anything, so.
Yeah, so basically the exemption is in place. It's been in place since the late 70s. So, I mean, it's there for them anyway. You guys truly don't even have to approve it, I don't think, but I mean, I think it's a gesture for you, for your.
It's, yeah, for the state, the Iowa Economic Development Authority would like a resolution
Rick, can you hear me?
to happen, so.
Are you there, Rick?
I am.
Good. We got cut off from that one, so, okay.
So the exemption part of it's in place. The only question I have, which is is in a few other situations where if there's funding that comes in that, you have to have a certain amount of money coming back because of putting in roads or something like that, then sometimes the people that have applied for that, well, we're not going to do a road and the industrial exemption, but if that's not the case here, I don't have any questions with it at all. And like I said, the 427 industrial exemption's in place, period. I mean, I don't think that you can even tell them they can't have it since it's there unless you can, you have some outstanding circumstance or something like that. And essentially what it is, over 5 years, the first year they paid 25%, 75% exemption, next year they pay 40, then 50, then 70, then 85, then 100. So.
We approved this in 2017, so they're on year 4 of their 2017 project.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, we've done this numerous times with them, and what we do it basically is county has it, Benton has it, Belle Plaine has it, I think Blairstown has it. So it's kind of regular routine stuff for that part of it, for the 4.7. And where it has the $153,000 paper, I'm not really sure of that, but that might not be too far off, but my guess is it'll be about a $2 million, addition for us, at least by our current stuff. They could vary a little bit, but we have a similar sized warehouse, we have a couple million on at this point, so.
If I recall, we've done this in the past with Frontier.
Yes.
Yep.
17, we did the last one.
Yep.
And truthfully, they probably had one every time they've expanded, which is probably about 10 or 12 times over the time I've been here, so.
Yeah, I think we're looking at 153,000 for the,
Right, I'm just saying, we don't know what that,
yeah, based on the numbers right now and
that could be
the
a rough
projected
guess,
numbers. Yep, yep.
but that's,
My question on the resolution, I highlighted one of the deals there, and that, I have a question on that one.
Okay.
You understand that?
No, I'm not sure. This is just the standard resolution we've always used.
Really?
Yeah, for,
'Cause we're not making a loan. We're not guaranteeing a loan.
We did one previously like that, I believe, but that one's already done.
in 15, yeah. So this is the same resolution we used in 15, 17, and
Make me happy, can we take that out?
we probably could.
So which section?
Let
are you-
Larry look at it.
mine's, all
I
mine
think
is
that I missed it.
exemption.
Okay, I'll read it to you. They have it, Rick. I'll read it to you in a minute.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
I think I've got it.
the loan, the exemption part, like you said, the other part of it has nothing to do with me at all, and I don't see how that applies.
Do you have a copy of that, Rick?
I think I do.
Yeah,
Uh,
I did too.
If
I
not,
think we check this out.
Yeah, send it with this, they were both in the same email.
I'll read the resolution to you. I got a piece of candy in my mouth, which ain't good, but.
Well, I have a copy of the resolution.
For sure.
What part are you looking at?
1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth whereas down. Whereas connection with this project.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to attach that development agreement to the bottom of this probably, or, or do you just want them signed separately for your purposes?
Yeah, probably, actually. Let's do that.
Sign them, or.
Definitely.
I
Okay.
guess I'm not, that
Okay.
might be something we need to run past David, but, I don't know, it's been done 2 other times with this, exact resolution, isn't that correct?
Yeah,
My guess is somebody just used a template and didn't read it, so that's just my guess, because what we've talked about right now is the property tax exemption, not any
Not
other
one.
loans, so I think they used, this is a standard form,
Yeah.
and nobody edited it for,
That's the thing I got a problem with, that, the very last sentence. And to make a no interest loan to the company. That's the only thing I have a problem with.
Yeah.
We're not making a loan.
right, yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah. Well, couldn't we approve this, subject to that being
Take out-
reviewed by the county attorney?
Or do you wanna just take out that paragraph?
Not
Well, you would
not the
take the whole
paragraph,
paragraph.
just,
Just the no
Part of
interest
that
loan?
sentence.
to approve the property valuation exemption,
Period.
period.
Mhm.
My opinion.
Yeah,
I'm
I
assuming
could
it's
go with
just a
that.
template.
I don't see a problem.
I mean, if you're willing to do that, I'll
Yeah,
make a motion to go with it then.
With that change.
Yep, and I would second it.
perfect.
Okay?
All in favor, please say aye.
Resolution.
By resolution.
Seaman, aye.
Primer, aye.
Earshake, aye. It carries. So,
Alright, I'm gonna
Sweet.
put that, Kate. and then
Okay,
I'd love to see this growth in Benton County.
there There's no doubt about that.
They have the development agreement, they can sign that one and I'll print this.
Okay,
Edited, revised.
awesome, thank you. So I need your signature.
Yeah, go ahead. I think they kind of jumped the gun on that, didn't they?
So this was released by the state and it's based off of the projected numbers in the application, so that's what it says in there, so that's
I
what
know,
they're just
we
going
didn't
off.
okay it until right now. Why could they jump the gun on it?
Yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, like he said, it's not,
Well, I don't think it's gonna be 153,000, I don't think that, because
yeah,
from what I calculated, roughly they're gonna pay 40,000 once it's complete, so the first year they have about 30,000 off, the next year might be, I'm not sure, 26 or something like that, so. Yeah, if they start at 30 for 1 year, you're not gonna end up with 150. It wouldn't surprise me that the state though, and this is due diligence, template things, stuff, they might have used an average tax rate. Well, Benton Community School District is one of the lowest by quite a bit. So if they didn't use our actual tax rate.
we actually did
Oh,
use
did
our
they?
tax rate, yep.
Yeah, well, and once again, they could have estimated the value of it too, just like I did.
There, on this
Yeah.
application.
Is this,
That's fine, but I was worried about the other application here, it's got Rick's name in it. Is that
Yeah,
gonna be a problem?
Nope, I talked to them and they said
Okay.
it shouldn't matter because
Okay.
of all the things. I was questioning that yesterday when I spoke with Haley, so.
and where's the, part that we're gonna strike? That's not in here?
I already,
No,
not in that one,
she's
it's
got-
in the resolution.
Yeah,
And they may have used a higher valuation start, which it could be higher too this next year, or
Yeah.
in future years too, 'cause
Yeah.
my guess is. they're
I
probably
understand what you're saying.
They probably have
Yeah,
$4 million or $5 million in the building, plus equipment and other stuff to get to that 7 million. And, we're not valuing it typically at cost of stuff like that. So.
yeah. So, I couldn't come to you prior to the state board meeting because the state likes to keep it all under the lid until approval. So then all that became public knowledge on Friday and so, thank you. And she's gonna get the resolution for you to sign. So, thank you. It's good. Good
Cracked
project.
my bike, hurt my finger. Bonded with some guys in Blackhawk County, because I tractor went in front of the bike trail. My rear brake was disconnected because I'd been working on the tire and I forgot about it, so I had no rear brake on my front brake, so. I was actually very lucky. I should have probably broke a collarbone or a wrist or something else. I mean, when I went to the chiropractor, he was like, yeah, most people half your age get hurt a lot worse than what happened to me. So anyway, we went there, the guy had a man shed in his bar, nice bar, so offered me a couple beverages while I was getting bandaged up and stuff too, so had some conversation with a few of the farmers there, so. Any questions?
Awesome.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep.
Kate, do you know what, hey Kate,
Yeah.
do you know what precinct you are in, Beltline?
There's some.
There's page 2.
I know. Yeah, no. I told
Do you know you would?
Dina I would.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But I go to Blairstown. I just said, yep.
Sweet.
Yep, I got you all covered.
See, great minds think alike.
Yep, I just took care of all that for
Yeah, you
you.
got a lot.
Thank you, sir.
They're backing out last minute, so. You want to-
Yes.
Cause I'll get the signed one in my minutes with that, so.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Want to seal it for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
then, yeah, I'll put that full one in the minutes, but I'll summarize it with paper.
When I scan this, I'll
Okay. Yep, and then I'll
shoot it
send
over
it.
to you. Perfect. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good day.
What do we have for other business? Anything?
should be it, I think.
Let's see. Let's see what next week. On election day, do you guys have a problem if we meet in the basement?
Nope.
We might, I'm trying to use the magistrate room for the absentees, so if I can use the magistrate, we can still meet up here, but we might, just depends.
Whatever.
So, let's see, next week. Anybody else think of anything for the agenda items that were? No? I did get a few complaints, but I'll forward them on to you guys about various things about coming in the courthouse. Mainly the treasurer's office was one that they couldn't get in, and I just said I would forward them to you guys.
From what I saw from Melinda's email, we now are opening up to all residents in the state of Iowa
Correct.
for appointments for the driver's license side.
Yep, she can't just use Benton County now because of that 2080 agreement.
Yep.
So we're gonna have a bunch of people coming out from Cedar Rapids.
By appointment only.
Yeah, next week looks pretty light, so.
Okay.
I will have a report from Heartland for next week.
Oh, are you up from their audit and stuff?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I didn't have anything else.
if there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
And seconded.
Okay.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.